So, good morning, beautiful, cruel, kinky world. Today I'm with one of the hottest girls in town, Miss Jennifer, who is, how do we describe you, Jennifer? What is the polite way of calling what you do and who you are?
Well, I'm a feminist pornographer.
Feminist.
And also, you could say, yeah, I make erotic films.
You make, here, I'll let you talk to them and I'll just try and keep the selfie stick in place.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm an erotic film director. I also produce and write my films, and I have a little company in Amsterdam called Blue Artichoke Films, where I work with super fun, like-minded people to make these.
And, of course, the big question is, how the hell does a nice, respectable woman like you end up going into, hi, Suzanne, hi, good morning, into erotic porn? And how did you tell your parents? I mean, the two questions I always ask is, what was your biggest pain and the $1 million tip? But actually, when I asked you that question, you said it wasn't pain, it was a lot of pleasure.
No, I mean, the reason that I started doing this is because I really enjoy having sex and doing sexual things, even before I was having, like, penetrative sex. And I was having so much fun that I kind of couldn't believe that not everybody was sharing my experience, and I had women friends that yeah, I wanted to provide that same experience for them. So then when I started watching porn when I was older, I was like, oh my God, what are they even doing? This is not nearly as much fun as what me and my friends are doing. You know, maybe we could try to like bring that to the screen.
But let's go back a step, because you also have a background in, what was your first degree?
So my first degree from Harvard was in psychology.
Oh, a degree in Harvard. A degree from Harvard in psychology. Oh shit. Brains and beauty, the combo.
Yeah, I suppose that I had a lot of choices of what I could do, but like this is what I wanted to do most. I had a degree in, I had a career in advertising, and then I quit that to do this.
You quit that, and what was the point that you, because you didn't suddenly, you know, quit everything. Something happened. What happened that enabled you to go from wanting to do something to just doing it? What was that pivotal point?
I think Amsterdam, honestly.
Amsterdam.
I moved to Amsterdam, and I just felt like I could reinvent my life, and I could quit the thing that I enjoyed advertising, but you know, it wasn't my dream. And porn, alternative porn, was my dream, and I was able to use that shift to go back to school, get a degree in film theory, and then start making the films that I wanted to make, even though nobody else knew how to do it.
No.
And I had to completely make it up myself.
No, that's it. But that's what I find so incredible. Not just the subject matter, which is a juicy one, which a lot of people would, you know, shy away from, but also that you. Yeah, you had the courage to just go out there and reinvent something that wasn't happening. So how do you start with the plots? I mean, I had to do my background research last night just to make sure I could interview you properly.
Good, well done, well done.
I slept very well.
Yay, good compliment, yes.
So how do you start with the plot, and how does this philosophy that you have work also with your business? I mean, how do you tell people? I mean, if you get a design project, it's easy, you know, move it up, move it down. But how do you get into that personal space and over fear? And
that's a really great question, because it is really, you have to be a bit brave to do something sexual. And I think for the kind of films I want to make, you need to be super honest, and it's hard to do, to be really honest about what turns you on and frankly what doesn't turn you on. There's a lot of stuff I wish worked for me, just doesn't work for me. So I got great advice from a real film producer, and she said, write about something that you know and something that you care deeply about. And
but that's just beautiful, because that works in any area. So say that again. Write about something that you know
and something you care about.
That you care deeply about.
Yep.
So then it's natural, and that's something that all of us can use in our businesses.
Yeah.
So you go from there to that writing. So that's how you create the structure.
Yep.
What you know and what you care about.
Yep. And it's very it makes your feelings really rise high. Like when I was writing my first fiction film, Matinee, I thought I'll write about the theater, because I used to be a theater actress. I know about that. I care very much about a lot of philosophical issues around the theater. But when I was writing the script, I actually had to shake my hands. Sometimes I had to stop writing, put down the keyboard, and go just to like calm down, because
that's a good job.
It's very it's intense.
Hi Chantal, I'm glad that you joined this one. Nikki, so are there any dying questions that you girls have? I mean, it's not every day we have the fun and the excitement of having, you know, such a naughty, smart woman in our company. What has been the biggest learning for you in this process, coming out of doing something safe and respectable to do something so hot? What have you discovered about yourself?
What have I discovered about myself? I mean, I like for things to be perfect. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I think the biggest learning on these movies is to make them what I want, to make them really hot and full of chemistry and really believable.
Yeah, tell them.
And really believable that you have to give it room to breathe. And that means you can't control everything. You have to let people improvise and do what they want. And I tried it the other way and it just didn't work. So, you know, I have to kind of let go of control in order to make the most beautiful possible thing.
And is there anything from that you think is actually the learning about creativity and business, is that we need that combination of your control,
Exactly.
Control perfectionist,
Yep.
but actually the really exciting stuff, the stuff that moves human beings, happens in that other realm.
Exactly. I mean, you should prepare. I absolutely prepare, and talking to the performers in advance about what they'd like to do and how they feel about each other, and what message they want to send with this movie is incredibly important. But at a certain point, when all the preparation is done, you just got to have faith. There's no substitute for faith.
And what's the thing you've learned about human psychology through all these films?
I think that people, when they can really express themselves sexually, either by watching a movie that really appeals to them or being in a movie that really appeals to them, it's incredibly liberating. Like, a lot of people don't get a chance to have that experience. You know, sex is really important to whatever extent that you like sex, like to do it, whatever. You know, if you're true to yourself, and then that's really
So we've
powerful.
got a question that's just come in. What is feminist porn as you define it?
Great question.
Where's the link? Good one, Nikki.
Great question.
Smart, yeah.
It has to do with what's in the movie and how the movie is made. So what's in the movie needs to send a message about sexuality and women's sexuality in particular that's organic in some way for at least the person who made the film.
Right.
So I can't make a film that says something about the sexuality of all women, but I can at least make a film that's genuine about the way I experience the world. So that is part of what makes it feminist. And I am a feminist, so, you know, anything I do in this area is going to be feminist. But it also has to do with what happens on set and the way you run your set. So everybody is consulted completely about what they'd like to do. People, I tell them that they can back out at any time.
Yeah.
You know, it's completely consent-oriented. We try to take care of people on set. I make sure that every crew member who has anything to do with the movie is completely on board with what we're doing, doesn't have any strange attitudes.
She's, I can say, chop, move, get up, come on, let go.
You will never have to tell that to me. Yeah.
So
it's so exciting.
It's so exciting. But there's so much. And what? Oh, close. Battery running down. Shut up. Telephone. I'm gonna have to hit send. What would you say? What's the $1 million tip for women who just need to get over? You're doing something that I could only dream of, right? I would never have the balls to do this, but you've done it. So what's the biggest $1 million tip to get over fear, and really follow that dream? Because that's what you did.
Yeah. I would say, you know, just speak up about what you really care about. It's not as bad as you think. I said my deepest, darkest secrets on camera through a movie, and people liked it.
People liked it.
They
and they
liked
didn't
it a
judge you. They
lot.
still want to hang out with
They
you.
still want to hang out with me.
They still
it's
invite
not
you for
scary.
tea.
They still invite me for tea.
Your
I'm
dad
still a
watches
good
them.
girl.
Your dad watches
My dad,
them.
yeah,
and
he's
he
a fan.
Yeah, he gives us feedback. Can you imagine?
I know.
What a crazy
it's really
world we live in.
lovely. Yeah.
It just shows that anything is possible. When
It's true.
when we get over fear.
It's true.
When we make our business and we become businesswomen and we mix emotion into it.
Yep.
And you're living the life, aren't you, Miss Jennifer?
I am.
She is exemplary, and I think also a great reminder to all of us to be brave and to be visible. So we're going to put some links underneath.
That sounds great.
That sounds great, because you've got homework to do, girls. Your homework is to connect with your feminine power via Miss Jennifer. Okay?
And then tell me how it went.
And then tell how.
Write me an email.
Do
Tell me
I
how it
have to
went.
give feedback on my session last night?
Oh, I would love that. You should do that. You should definitely do
Okay,
that.
girls, hit share on this one. Let's get the world to be free and kinky. Much love from me and
Mwah.
Miss Jennifer. And let's just share where we are before. We just brought you to
Yay.
one of the hot places in town. Great perspective. Bye, my friends. Until tomorrow. Nat and Jen.